I
Hi.
so of course that was amazing and took care of a lot of what I wanted to ask you about. But I still wanna ask whatever.
Sure.
And I want to start by sharing again. Um, I've really dedicated myself to this. I mean, really,
I know.
completely. Um, and one day, it's just started to feel like timeless. I don't know what words to use. Timeless.
Sure.
One day I was on my walk and I realized a long time ago, before I ever knew about releasing, I did the Heart's Deepest Desire exercise on my own.
Oh, that's great. Yeah.
I just had this, I finished my licensing hours and I just thought, huh, well, what do I really want? And my favorite thing in the world, sorry, I'm super emotional about this.
No, it's okay.
My favorite thing in the world has always been music,
Hmm.
in particular jazz. Started as a very small child. And I heard Pat Metheny Group a long time ago in the 80s, and I thought, oh my God, what is this? Like, I know this. I
Hmm.
know there's such a recognition there. And because it's called the Pat Metheny Group, I just associated him with that. Well, so when I asked myself this question, I listened much more deeply and much more carefully. What I found was it was Lyle Mays, who's always been part of the group.
Hmm.
That's who it was that I was hearing. That's who it was that I was recognizing. And so he's always been one of my heroes. So we connected and we became very good friends. And sorry, he just passed away right before the pandemic. And releasing has helped me a lot with the grief. And I have felt him and heard him in amazing ways since his
Hmm.
passing. Amazing. And I feel like I've come through the grief like so much more quickly because of releasing. This person is one of the most precious. He's as precious to me as my dog. And that's saying a lot. That's
Yes, that is for you. That's saying what?
well, um, so Christmas morning, I decided I was going to listen to Christmas. We used to spend Christmas together because neither one of us really cared about Christmas that much. So we would just spend Christmas together doing whatever we wanted, just spending a day doing whatever we wanted. So I decided to listen to Michael Brecker, who is also passed, who's probably another one of the most amazing musicians who's ever lived. And I realized I don't know what he's doing. Nobody knows what he's doing because it's so beyond.
Hmm.
And it really created this big hook of, oh shit, now I have nobody to talk to about this.
Hmm.
And I think perhaps it got to the heart of this aversion that's been arising for me. It's a lot better after yesterday and today's releasing, but I just feel like I'm not even 60 years old yet, and my favorite people are dead.
Hmm.
And, perhaps that's an opportunity to really take all of this further, everything you're talking about, because I'm truly free to explore anything I want. There's nobody and nothing in my way.
Hmm.
There's just a lot of grief right now. And even even what you just said, earlier is the name of one of their songs. I mean, it just happens all the time. That there's this connection, and then I feel this amazing connection with him, and then I feel like it's gone. And I don't think it's ever gone. I think it's just not coming back.
Yes. But I have something that I'd like you to try.
Okay.
So when we definitely need to honor the grieving process when
Yeah.
we lose someone, and release as best we can, and do all the things we usually do, both with or without the method. But I want to show you a shortcut.
Okay. I'm up for that.
So when we're missing someone, it's because the people that we miss, whether they're here or not, it doesn't matter, is because we find them the easiest to love.
Yes.
And we love them as they are, because they are the way they are, or maybe for no reason whatsoever. It doesn't matter. And we think we need that excuse in order to experience that love that we are. We don't realize that we don't need that excuse. And so I mentioned this actually when I was speaking to Adriana, but let me expand on this a little bit. The goodness that you think you got from that relationship was just merely the self shining through. And in this moment, can you feel the self, that which you are, wanting to shine through? Or already shining through around the edges of the sadness?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. And do you need to be sad about that which you are?
No, the grief is, Susan Seifert said in one of her support calls, she said it's that you think there's something really wonderful you no longer have access to.
Right,
That's
exactly. So this is what I'm pointing out. The wonderful thing about any relationship or any person, place, or thing is the wonder of being. That's where the wonder comes from. We think it has to do with our preferences, has to do with jazz, has to do with people, has to do with animals, especially our pets, has to do with nature, has to do with sunsets or sunrises. We think it has to do with any of that, but everything that we experience is just a filter that we've put on top of that exquisite beingness or awareness that we are. And again, you're all looking at a screen of some sort in order to do this retreat. So if you look at that screen, right now you're looking at the image and you're not really seeing the screen, but there's a screen there. Otherwise, you wouldn't be able to see the image. And it's being illuminated from within the screen. Everyone just noticed that, how it's being illuminated from within the screen. Now, that illumination is you in this analogy. The illumination that you feel when you hear jazz, or when you spoke to them, or when you pet your dog, or when you're in nature, that illumination is coming from the screen of awareness. Certain things we're programmed to believe let that through more. And we don't think it's letting it through. We think it's coming from the image. But is the light that you're seeing on that screen actually coming from the image on the screen? Or is it coming from within the screen itself? In other words, if you look at the picture of this face, the Hale's face. Is Hale's face giving off light? Or is the screen giving off light? It's not Hale's face. It's not Jill's face. But we forget that. We fall in love with the images on the screen and forget that the light and the love and the happiness and the goodness is just ourself shining through. And that which illuminates all experience doesn't need experience to be. It just is. It is even without experience. It is during the waking, sleeping, and dream states of mind. And it is even when horrible things are projected on the screen, things that the mind would judge as bad. If an explosion is projected on this screen that we're all looking at, would it burn the screen? No. If there's a flood on this screen, does it get wet? No. If there's a knife slashing through the air, does the screen get cut? No. What you are is that self-luminous screen on or in which all appears. And that's true when there's a beautiful thing projected, and it's also true when there's something that we would think is horrible. And also, the body, mind, is just another projection on the screen. There isn't a body mind watching the screen. There is in this instance, but in life, in that which is, the body mind, the one you think you are, is just another projection. No different than any other projection on the screen. No different at all. But because we identify with that particular body mind, we think we separate ourselves from what is. We don't actually do that, but it feels that way. But it's never true.
Yeah, that definitely helps. And that's a lovely shortcut. And it just occurs to me to just let the body mind do what it needs to do with this. It might just need to cry a whole bunch.
Yeah, or it might laugh.
It does both.
Or it might, or hold on a sec. Jill, I'm gonna mute everyone again.
Okay.
And you're gonna have to unmute yourself.
Okay.
Good. So it just it's going to do whatever it does. It might play music. It might go for a walk. It might watch this screen for another few hours this morning. But whatever happens, happens. You are the light or the beingness or the isness that allows for the dance.
Here's another piece of it. And this helped a lot, this last release, and I wrote down where it is, so I know I can go back to it.
Good.
There's a belief that you should be grateful this happened because it's never going to happen again. You're never going to know anybody like that again.
Yes, but isn't that just a belief?
Yes.
But
yes,
aren't you falling in love again with that which allows for all experiencing?
Yeah, and that is better.
Yeah.
It's, as you said,
that doesn't come and go.
Yeah, it's cleaner and more efficient.
Yes, and it can it even when you abandon it, which we all do, it has never, ever abandoned you.
Right. Ah, wow. Okay. That just really hit home.
It's a good thing that that which we are doesn't want approval, because we're constantly attributing the goodness we experience in life to the images that are projecting on the screen that we are. We think jazz musicians are the source of goodness as opposed to that which we are. We think relationships are the source of goodness instead of that which we are. We think chocolate, well, maybe it's true with chocolate. No, I'm kidding. But we think chocolate gives us happiness. Yet it's that which we are.
Well, I'm gonna keep exploring this, but one place where I get hooked is just exploring unlimited possibilities.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not that good. I'm not that good. I'm not an innovator, but I can hear it.
Yes, but isn't that a belief too?
Is it though? Because it takes a lot of practice.
No, but listen to me. All innovation, where do you think that comes from?
The one.
Right.
It comes from the one. You're right. Of course.
Yes, of course. Everybody mind has things that it's good at and things it's not as good at. But so what? Since you are all, why does it matter? And you can, if you let go enough, what you'll notice is you'll watch or listen to jazz musicians as though you're playing the music.
Oh yeah, that already happens.
Exactly, because you are.
Well, and that's so funny because he called me up one time and he said, you're a big part of this. You're a big part of this amazing record we just made. And I was like, yeah, right. No, and it just occurs to me now, it's because he was going beyond separation.
Yes, well, all great artists do.
Yeah.
Or they use it as a vehicle for themselves to see beyond separation.
Right.
And great scientists do that, and great accountants do that, and great therapists do that. And we all do that. Again, we think it's because we were good at something or because it went the way we wanted it to, but it has nothing to do with that.
It really doesn't, because even when we asked him, we said, how do you do that? He would
He
go,
didn't know.
I don't know. That's exactly what he would say. I
Yes,
don't know.
no, but even great scientists don't know. The Edison used to get his ideas. He would nap and get himself out of the way. And I think this is Edison. He held a rock so that he wouldn't totally fall asleep, but he'd just get himself out of the way, and then wisdom would come through him. And I apologize if I'm not quoting the story correctly, but Einstein said that you can't solve problems at the level they were created. Einstein knew that the information that he was putting out, he didn't create it. He was just a vehicle for it to come into existence. Great saints and sages know that. They know it a little more consciously. And so it can be helpful because they know it more consciously. But it's true for everyone. Great street sweepers, that comes from the self. It is the self. It's the self sweeping the street. The self is the broom and the street as well.
Well, I think you just helped me realize I thought I was going backwards. But no, this really was just a deeper layer.
Yes. Yes.
And I wasn't going backwards at all.
No, you did never go backwards.
God.
No matter how much you try.
Not that I wanted to, I didn't, but I wanted to keep seeing that that's true, that it really is just another layer.
Exactly.
It really is.
Yes. But the layers are all just finer levels of revealing self to itself.
Right. At first I thought that's just, I'll take that in, but that just sounds like BS to me. And then it did sink in, and then I felt like it got me again. So whatever.
Good. That's why we're recording this, because the mind is going to call BS on a lot of this at first, because it's too simple. It's too easy. It's too direct.
All right. Thank you. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. And thanks for bringing that up, because this little talk that just came out because of it is exactly what needed to come out in this moment. Did I plan for it? No. It just happened.
Thank God for that.
Yeah.
It's better that way.
Yeah, it is. And see, if you want to take credit, you could take credit for this whole talk that just came out.
No. That is not a comfortable thing for me to do.
Well, good. I don't care. I'm certainly not going to take credit for it.
But thank you very much. That helped me a lot.
Yeah, thanks, Joe.